Welcome back, writers. Today we're going to look at 5 mistakes that I've made so far on my writing journey. So hopefully you can avoid them. Like everything, your writing journey is trial and error. You search for what improves your writing and stories and jettison what doesn't. And with the internet, I think we're actually lucky that we have so many opportunities to learn. But with that being said, mistakes are guaranteed. I've compiled 5 of my own so you can learn from them as I have. Let's get into it. For the first few years of writing and taking it seriously, I rarely shared anything. It'd be to perhaps my mom and brother, and they would, as you expect, say good job and well done. And that was really it. This meant I wasn't learning where I was going wrong, or even what I was doing right. And my eyes missed a lot, which is normal. You need objective eyes, objective opinions to help and see things that you can't. It also made the process insular. I know writing is lonely, but writing and the writing journey is more than being held up in an attic, hammering away on your computer. It's that old saying, learning is collaborative. So I started to share more of my writing online, which was good and bad. Good because it reminds you that you can write, and bad because people are mean. But sharing online led me to creating a writing group and finding writing partners. That was the first time I shared writing with other writers, and receiving their feedback was a world away from my mum's good job. Having constructive criticism from knowledgeable people opened my eyes, opened them to feedback and its benefits. Now I actually enjoy having other people read my work. I learn so much. It's helped me shift the focus of my writing from me to the reader. That's not to say I'm writing for the reader. I'm writing for me, but not only me. And the stories I write have to draw emotions from other people, so I need to think about them. If you want writing groups or a partner, Reddit has a great place with lots of interested people. Or do as I did and throw up a message on socials. You'll be surprised by how many writers there are out there. I, for the longest time, thought writing was the only way to improve. Write, and I'll get better. The problem with this is practice doesn't make perfect. I've always seen it as practice makes permanent. So I was writing, but didn't know what direction I was going in or what I needed to do to improve. Funny enough, it was actually chess that got me deep into studying the craft. I realized how lost I was with improving and identifying what I needed. But I stumbled across a chess YouTube account where this woman broke down her training, and I had like a lightning bulb moment. I needed to be studying and practicing like chess players, like musicians, artists, and anyone who wants to improve, when you really think about it. So I bought books on areas that I wanted to know more about: character development, narrative arcs, that sort of thing. I started listening to podcasts on craft and lectures. Then in 2023, I was accepted on Faber's Writing a Novel course, which was 6 months learning all things craft, all things fiction, all things writing. It was excellent. This studying aspect has taught me the mechanics of writing. It's demystified it somewhat and made it feel attainable. If something isn't working with my writing, I'm nearer to understanding why, closer to finding solutions. I feel more knowledgeable and able to move forward on this journey. For any writers wanting to understand the craft better, Stephen King's On Writing is a great starting point. Also look at Jessica Brody's Save the Cat Writes a Novel. I bang on about that all the time, but it's a great book. In terms of online content, you can follow me. Got a self-plug. A great account that I follow is Shailene Writes. She unpicks stories superbly, so check her out. For me, reading was always sporadic. I'd always enjoyed it, but I was never a 50 book a year person. I got my story love from films and video games, and books was secondary. And this attitude was a trademark of my early writing journey. The issue was, and I couldn't see it at the time, I didn't have a large experience of how writers did things, so my writing reflected that. I focused on events and making them as huge as I could, neglecting the characters' journeys. And I didn't care about sentence structure or techniques that writers use to create feelings, but also I just wasn't aware of it. And it was around 2016 that I stumbled across something that said Stephen King reads 60 books a year, and that struck me. I was reading, say, 8 books a year, and just thought to myself, if King, writing extraordinaire, reads 60, I have to get nearer to that. So I set up goals, monthly and yearly, and year on year, I increased that goal. For me, I found that reading is about habit. You can't jump from 8 to 60 because you haven't worked out the habit. Times you can read, the environment you need to read in, your speed, so many things. But setting a goal really worked for me, and in 2023, I finally achieved the 60 goal landmark. And now reading is a part of my everyday. I no longer set goals because the habit is ingrained. It's the first thing that I do in the day because I realized I don't want life to get in the way. When I leave things later, it's easier for things like reading to get dropped. And reading now shows me how to put the writing puzzle together. I'm usually reading and I end up saying, oh, that's how they've described a bar scene. Oh, that's how you describe a fight. Ah, look how they've transitioned from here to here. I'm enjoying what I'm reading and taking on board what I can. For writers wanting to read more, I'd say set a reasonable monthly or yearly goal. and allocate a specific time in the day to read, away from distractions and life. And don't be afraid to use Audible. I think it's great for people that are always on the go. My writing journey began because I wanted to write novels, just like you. So my early writing journey was just my novel. Nothing else. Novel. Writing is such a broad thing, from sentence structure to pacing to descriptions. It has many parts. And simply writing solely my novel wasn't allowing me to experience other things, other styles, and learn new techniques, which I could then take and apply to my writing. But what changed was, again, looking at other writers, famous ones, not so famous ones, and looking at their journeys to their first novels. I found time and time again they were writing other things: comics, short stories, movie reviews, a wide range of writing. So I started writing short stories and putting them online. It was liberating. I could try things, use what I'd read in books, and learn about myself as a writer. Today, I still write short stories and feel that they've moved me on as a writer, giving me confidence in my ability and allowing me to test things. I still want to do more. In fact, this social media educating that I'm doing was born from the idea of writing scripts for videos. It's another form of writing that lets me try things out. If you want to write more widely, I'd say set up a blog and have fun. If that's too open, look at journaling and use it to practice different writing. There are so many opportunities to write, more than there's ever been. Grab a keyboard and get to it. I'd write whenever, morning, noon, night, weekends, which worked unless I got busy or tired from stressful periods. It was during those times that writing fell away, and one day easily became 2, and 2 became 4, and 4 became a week. And at that point, you're in trouble, or at least I was. Writing is a marathon, and having sporadic writing sessions meant that not enough was getting done, and my novel didn't seem to move forward. I also didn't get into a flow that seems to arise when you're writing consistently. So my novel and improvement in writing didn't seem to get anywhere. Everything felt bitty. So frustrated by this and weighing up whether I wanted to be a novelist, because it's about priorities, right? I made the decision and blocked out time. If you want something, you can't make excuses for it. I chose mornings after or before I read, 30 minutes, an hour, something, anything, but I just sat at my desk and wrote. Putting this slot early morning meant that life couldn't get in the way. I had to wake up early, but that's never been a problem for me. I'm one of those early birds. And like reading, I've found that writing every day has become second nature. I don't set word count goals, although I have in the past. And I may be returning to them actually. But I found a time in the day with little to no distraction that's mine, where I can just write and be with my novel. I'd advise any writer to find a spot in the day and don't let life get in the way. Late night, early morning, whatever suits you. And if you find it's not working, switch. Don't get frustrated. Look for a time you can use and be firm. Protect that slot. Your story will thank you in the end. Okay, thanks for listening to my mistakes. I'd love to hear some of yours in the comments. As I always say, see you in the next video.